Making St. Louis style ribs is easy. In fact, I'm gonna show you how easy it is right now at Skull and Mortar. Let's go. First, you're gonna start off with a solid cut of St. Louis style ribs. This cut of ribs is looking pretty good. There's a little extra fat here that you could go ahead and trim if you wanted to. I think that I'm probably gonna trim it off. This thinner fat here, we're gonna go ahead and leave it because I think it'll render out just fine. But I wanted to get rid of that big chunk for sure. You're gonna flip your ribs over and you're definitely gonna wanna cut off this little guy right here. This is just gonna get in your way and it's gonna prevent your ribs from cooking right. Probably just gonna burn up your ribs. It's just not a good thing to have on here. Go ahead and get that right off of there. There are three schools of thought when it comes to the membrane. One, you can remove the membrane. Two, you can leave it on. Three, you can score the membrane. In my experience, it doesn't make much of a difference as to how it actually cooks the ribs. So we're gonna go ahead and take it off though, since that's the most popular method. Typically, it's easier to do this with a paper towel, but I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm gonna go in with no paper towel. What you do is you just stick your finger here, just kind of wedge it under a loose end of that membrane, and work it up slowly but surely. That's all she wrote. We're gonna take that, we're gonna throw it in the trash. Now that we have the membrane off the rib, we're gonna go ahead and season the rib. We're just gonna use the Skull and Mortar OG rub. We're sold out right now, we're not making any more. Use your favorite sweet style barbecue rub, something like a Malcolm Reed's Killer Hogs rub. There's a lot of great ones out there that you can use. You just want a good barbecue rub, and we're just gonna go ahead and rub that. We're gonna get some on the table. The table's gotta have a little seasoning too. We don't play games with that. You know that we're gratuitous with the seasoning. Then we're gonna flip our rib over. I'm actually gonna do a little more trim here. I'm gonna cut off this part of the rib as well because I want that end nice and straight. Then we're gonna go back over the top of this and we're gonna go ahead and season this side as well. And you wanna season it pretty heavily. You wanna make sure that you get plenty of seasoning on there. You're not gonna hurt this meat. It is meant to be seasoned heavily. Guys, that's literally all the pre-prep it takes to get your ribs ready for the grill. We got our smoker set right now at 250 degrees. We got some apple wood smoke going with it. I like to use the lighter woods. Feel free to use whatever wood you like, whatever flavor tickles your fancy. I'm gonna get my ribs on the smoker. We're gonna let them go for a couple hours, and then we're gonna go back and check the temperature here in a bit. Then we're just gonna grab our ribs and we're gonna place them directly on the rack. That's it. We're gonna check back in a couple hours. We've had our ribs on the smoker for about 3 hours and they are ready to get wrapped. We're not gonna get any more color and smoke on them than that, so it's time just to work on tenderizing them. Now we're gonna take our butcher paper. We're just gonna lay it out like so. We're gonna take our butcher paper here. We're gonna drop some pads of butter right on it. And then we're gonna pick our whole rack of ribs up and drop it directly on top of the pads of butter. From this point, you have several options. You can either use brown sugar, honey, or more rub to kind of cap these off. We're gonna use more rub. We're not going for anything sweet here. We're just going for good eating St. Louis style spare ribs. And now that we got our ribs wrapped, we're gonna throw them back on the smoker and give them about 2 more hours until the ribs start to pull back and they really get loose. All right, so now we have our ribs to where we're gonna glaze them. The pullback is not great on these ribs, but they are ready to go otherwise. If we cook them too much longer, they're gonna break and fall apart. We're gonna go ahead and glaze them with some Blues Hogs Championship Blend barbecue sauce. And we're gonna kind of glaze these the ghetto way. We're just gonna hit them and drench sauce on these. Now you can certainly mop your sauce on, you can brush it on, whatever you like. We're just gonna do it like this because we're hood rich over here. That's how we get down. I want a lot of sauce on mine for the glaze, get it nice and sticky. We're gonna get these back on the smoker. We're gonna give them about another 20 minutes or so, and then they should be nice and tacky and exactly where we want them. We're not gonna worry about glazing the bottom of them. You can if you want, but I don't much care as far as my ribs go. That's up to you. That's up to your personal preference. Let's freaking go. Guys, our ribs are done. We cooked them at 250 degrees for about 2.5 hours. We went ahead and wrapped them up. We cooked them for another 2 hours or so, and then we glazed them and cooked them for another 30 minutes. Let's freaking go. Let's cut these bad boys up and see exactly what we got to work with. Guys, we've smoked our ribs, we've cut our ribs, and now it is time to give them a taste. Look at that. Still got the tip on there. That is a perfect St. Louis style spare rib for you to eat at home. Let's take a bite. It's smoky, it's sweet, it's got a little spice on it. Guys, this is the ultimate backyard St. Louis spare rib. And they're extremely easy to make. I think I'm gonna go in for another bite. Perfect tenderness. Let's freaking go. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned. We got plenty of videos, over 100 other videos on this channel where maybe you can learn a little something to improve your grill game. Leave a comment down below. Tell me how you do things. Today we did basic backyard ribs. On our next video, we're gonna take it into the stratosphere and we're gonna show you how one of the greatest pit masters of all times makes their championship ribs, and we're gonna find out how they stack up. Let's freaking go. Skull and Mortar, we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Guys, hang on, don't go anywhere. You see this video right here? YouTube thinks you'll love it, and I'm willing to bet you will too. Go ahead and give it a click and check it out.